Do you guys want the Boston Celtics back in the NBA Finals? We know they came up just short this past season, losing in the conference finals to the Miami Heat. But if you want them back in the NBA Finals, don't jinx it. Make sure you hit that like button and don't be the reason why the Celtics don't make the finals in 2024. Welcome into Celtics Today by Chat Sports. I am Nic Rohloff, and we have a jam-packed show for you guys today, and it all starts with John Wall. Do the Celtics want to sign the veteran point guard, the former five-time NBA All-Star, and is a Jaylen Brown extension close? That is what is on tap for today's show, but we will lead it off with John Wall. He held private workouts in Las Vegas for teams to come check him out, see if he's still got some juice in the tank. And according to Celtics lead and other reporters in the NBA, the Celtics were one of the teams that attended John Wall's private workout. Could he be a Celtic in this upcoming season? I'll tell you this, the Celtics sure do need a ball handler. Trading Marcus Smart to Memphis in the Kristaps Porzingis deal. You still have Malcolm Brogdon. You still have Derrick White. And you have Peyton Pritchard off the bench. But one thing that has been known that has held the Celtics back is their struggles to keep care of the basketball. We know Jaylen Brown's turnovers in the big games, but one of the main reasons for this is the fact that the Celtics don't have a traditional point guard to help get the C's into their sets. You have Tatum, you have Jaylen Brown, but a natural point guard that can take the load off of Brown and Tatum handling the ball would be absolutely key to the Celtics unlocking another potential to where they can go and finally win a ring in the Tatum-Brown era. This is something that could help them get over that hump. Is John Wall that guy who can do it? He's only played in 2 of the last 4 seasons, and when he has played, he hasn't even been that effective. He played 34 games this past season for the Los Angeles Clippers, averaged 11.5 points per game, 5.2 assists, shooting 40% from the field and 30% from 3. He missed the year prior. He sat that out, didn't really want to play for the Houston Rockets. And the year prior to that, he did play for the Rockets in 40 games. He put up 20 points a game and 7 assists. Efficiency wasn't great, but his volume was high, and he was shot-chucking on a bad team. And we know his struggles to close out his Washington Wizards tenure was due to his injuries. And in that 2019-20 season, left heel, Achilles issue, had an infection, kind of a nightmare end to John Wall's run in Washington. And it's kind of parlayed itself into a struggle over the past 3 to 4 years. But let me know, would you sign John Wall? We're going to look more into it in depth here in a second, but it's today's pinned comment. So scroll down to the comment section and let me know. Type S for sign, type P for pass. Do you want the Celtics to sign John Wall? I'll say this, I would sign Wall. I just laid out the roster for the Boston Celtics and the issues the C's have had in coming up short in these playoffs, and Wall could cure some of these issues. We know there has been massive struggles in that guard spot for the Celtics in the playoffs, and we saw it this past season with Malcolm Brogdon. He won Sixth Man of the Year by averaging 15 points per game, 4.2 rebounds, 3.7 assists, shooting 48% from the field and 44% from 3 in the regular season. But in the playoffs, he took a big step back. In 19 games, he averaged 11.9 points per game, 3.5 rebounds, 3 assists, 41.8% from the field, 37.9% from 3. So you saw him take a dip in production in every statistical category in the playoffs, which is obviously, it happens normally because the T-Vents tightens up, the lights are the brightest, people's stats naturally go down, and Malcolm Brogdon was a big-time failure in the postseason this past year. But if you look at the Celtics guards on this roster currently, Derrick White, Brogdon, Pritchard, not a lot of ball handling there. They can score and they can shoot, but can they facilitate? Right now, the Celtics just have a bunch of guys who can go get buckets and who can shoot. But the Celtics need a point guard that can distribute the rock. I would have argued, I know it would have been tough to bring in Chris Paul on that contract, but Chris Paul would have been absolutely perfect for the Boston Celtics, someone who doesn't need to get their shot, doesn't look for their shot that often, but is willing to take it in the big moments, but would only focus on getting Jaylen Brown, getting Jason Tatum, getting Kristaps Porzingis involved. I think it would have been very beneficial for the Celtics to add a Chris Paul, a point guard who would just only focus on getting the offense and limiting turnovers. Maybe John Wall can be that guy, but I'd sign him on the vet min and give him a chance to help the Celtics roster go to that next level. I'll tell you what, if the Celtics do make a signing, we will have a video for it, whether it be me, Harrison, Chase, the whole NBA crew. We'll make sure you guys are updated on the latest Boston Celtics news and rumors and breaking news. So join the channel and hit that sub button. Now, could Jaylen Brown be signing that extension very soon? There's a lot of rumors out there that could signal the ongoing saga is close to ending. Here's what Bleacher Report had to say on Jaylen Brown extension talks. According to Jared Weiss of The Athletic, previous reports suggested the two sides were expected to pick up talks at Summer League in regards to a new contract. That has apparently gone according to plan as of Monday, with the two sides starting to make progress and likely moving closer to an agreement over the coming week. And it is something to remember when talking about Jaylen Brown extension talks, is that his supermax, is a 5-year extension that is worth a projected $295 million. That's a lot of dough. Will the Celtics dish it out to Jaylen Brown? That is to be determined, but we know they are working closer and closer to signing that extension. We'll break down Jaylen Brown more in depth, but first, our show is sponsored by Fanatics. We have sweet gear for your C's on tap. When you go to chatsports.com/Celtics combo, you can get a shirt and t-shirt combo. Really elite deal. Have that nice little Celtics fit and take your Celtics fandom to that next level. Chatsports.com/Celtics combo, 40% off. You won't find a better deal on the market, so don't waste any time. Go down and grab it right now. All right, now let's go back to Jaylen Brown. That supermax is a lot of money for Jaylen Brown, but this is a one-in-a-caliber type player right now. Jaylen Brown is at the top of his game, one of the best players in the association, and the Celtics must keep him in order to continue to contend for an NBA championship. I mean, look at what he did last season. 26.6 points per game, 6.9 rebounds, 1.1 steals, while shooting 49% from the deck and 33.5% from the field. He also made second-team All-NBA. Jaylen Brown is an elite player, and I know that extension is a lot of money, and he came up a little short in the Eastern Conference Finals against the Miami Heat, but you're not going to find too many players better than Jaylen Brown. And he has only improved every year he has been in the NBA, the former third overall pick out of Cal. Look at this. 2019, he averaged 20 points. Then it went to 24. Then it stayed at that 24 mark. And then this year, he jumped up to 26.6 points per game. The three-point efficiency has taken a little bit of a dip, but his overall efficiency from the field has been at better almost every year, and that points per game total has gone up. Now, the one thing that might make you a little skeptical is his career playoff stats. He's been in the playoffs every year of his career, so the beginning portions are going to be a little rough, right? But the past couple years, he has taken an uptick in his playoff output, but over his career playoff stats, 105 games, 18.8 points, 5.5 rebounds, 2.3 assists, 49% from the field, and 35% from three. But I think the main concern with Jaylen Brown in the postseason is his playoff turnovers, and we know teams force him to his left hand, and he has a lot of turnovers, one driving to the left. He'll need to work on his game to improve that so he doesn't have a weakness in his left hand, and then he can earn that contract for Jaylen Brown. I'll give you my thoughts on the Brown Supermax dilemma in a second, but would you guys sign Jaylen Brown to that 5 years, $295 million contract extension, the Supermax? Type Y for yes, type N for no. I think you have to. I kind of laid it out. There's not a lot of players on the market right now that are better than Jaylen Brown. So why wouldn't you extend a 26-year-old guard that is averaging 26 points per game and who just made second-team All-NBA? Like, he is also close with Jason Tatum. They've got a good bond there. Unless Jaylen Brown wants to leave, I think you kind of have to sign those extensions. And something to also note is that these two guys right here, Tyrese Halliburton and LaMelo Ball, both just signed 5-year, $260 million extensions with their respective teams. That was their max with their rookie contracts. And if you're getting Jalen Brown on that same year timeline with only $35 million, I would definitely consider Jalen Brown on the same tier, if not a higher tier of player than these two. I get they're a little bit younger, but that's just the going price right now for elite young scorers in the association. And that as that CBA, as the salary cap continues to go up, these extensions might get higher and higher when it comes to money. So you could argue in 2 to 3 years, you might have Jaylen Brown on a bargain contract. I think that's why you just have to bite the bullet, give him the supermax, and move on, because you've been close to winning the NBA title over the last 3 years. You just get Kristaps Porzingis, maybe Jaylen Brown takes another step, and that supermax proves worth it with an NBA title, and you bring Banner 18 back to Boston. That's going to do it for today's show. We'll be here throughout the rest of the offseason updating you on whether maybe it be Damian Lillard trade rumors, Jaylen Brown extension talks, or any other Boston Celtics news and rumors. So lock us in here at Celtics Today and hit that sub button.